Warning: the following video might contain some elements that might not be suitable for some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. Banjo-Kazooie is one of the greatest games for the N64. I remember having this game when I was 8 or 9 years old. I always thought that the game was funny in some ways, but in other ways, it was quite scary. Nowadays, I spend my time researching the betas for video games. I came across many such as Luigi's Mansion and Super Mario Sunshine, but the most interesting seemed to be Project Dream. Project Dream was what was supposed to be Banjo-Kazooie before SNES. After it was changed to Banjo-Kazooie, fans seemed to like it more. I thought that Project Dream would have been the coolest video game ever. I searched all over the internet for a ROM to download, but nothing came up. As I researched Project Dream more and more, I found out that the main villain of the game would be Captain Black Eye. That name, for some reason, caught my attention. I'm gonna see this Captain Black Eye character look like because there are only two known images of the game, both only showing the main character, which was a boy named Edison. I googled Captain Black Eye to see what exactly he is. As soon as I saw his face, I remember he was from Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie, and that was how I had remembered him. I realized since Captain Black Eye was supposed to be in Project Dream, I should check out the actual game itself to see if there was any other fans used from Project Dream that are in Banjo-Kazooie. I went to my basement to find the N64 with Banjo-Kazooie. I dug some cool things up like Mario Kart 64 and Gex. I finally found Banjo-Kazooie, which was hiding right under the N64 this whole time. I returned upstairs, set up my old N64, I blew the dust out of the cartridge, and pushed it in. It took me a few tries to get it to start up, but when it did, I was 100% ready. Before I could say I was nervous, I guess I didn't really know. The game began with the Rare logo, but instead of it squishing a bug and going to the intro, it was just a black screen that showed the logo for Rare with no music, then simply skipped to the file select screen. I didn't notice at the time and kept playing. The first file was with Banjo laying in bed. This file is from when I first got the game and I said it was my best bet to continue on from there. When I selected, Banjo didn't even wake up. I was a little confused by this, but I wasn't too concerned neither. It began at a black screen for about 14 seconds with no audio except for the witch grunting laughing for the 14 seconds. After the black screen, I appeared in Grunty's lair entrance. I went with what I remember and walked straight to Mumble's mountain. When I went there, I didn't see what I remembered. Mumble was standing in front of the level entrance, sobbing in the corner, sitting down. I interacted with him and Mumble said, "What was seen will never be unseen." The message kept repeating over and over. It didn't matter how many times I pressed A. He didn't stop. That nervous feeling inside me grew. I wasn't sure what to do, but I reset the system to find out what the hell was happening. I thought that just maybe I was at a specific part in the game that I couldn't remember, so I reset the system and tried playing again on the same file. This time, the game just automatically brought me to Grunty's lair once again. This time, her portrait that was hanging became something different. If I am correct, I believe it was Captain Black Eye. It shocked me to see this, as it was never supposed to be here. I know this was for a fact, and when I saw it, I had an uncomfortable feeling, and I had to shut the N64 off. I was alone that night and couldn't fall asleep. I kept having these strange feelings about that painting. It seemed that there was some way the game sort of knew I wanted to research Project Dream. I went to bed, trying not to think about anything Banjo-Kazooie related. I watched TV to help me out, but his face, it just couldn't stop showing up in my mind. I ended up sleeping that night, but when I woke up, I put the cartridge in the N64 once more. It started up normally for once. I actually began the game in Banjo's house and started playing, but also being very cautious at the same time. When I went outside, the audio cut off. The text box appeared with no head to show who was speaking and said, "Oh, you pesky bear! You'll suffer for stealing me glory!" The screen then quickly faded to black. When I saw it next, it was horrifying. Not even meant to be in the video game. The screen showed a forest, like an intro to the game. You can see the grass and trees. It was very quiet. The screen stayed there for a good 2 or 3 minutes while I was just watching. Then suddenly Banjo popped up, right in front of the camera, screaming. His pupils were very tiny. I think he had gone insane. Kazooie came out of his backpack with no eyes whatsoever. Banjo began flailing his arms around like he does for one of his attacks in the game. Banjo stopped screaming. He approached the camera and whispered, "It's over. It's all over." Banjo just started to bleed from the eyes and eventually just died. The camera zoomed out for a while and then Grunty's laugh repeated it over and over. I was in shock. I felt like passing out. He couldn't even cry, but somehow I managed to just sit still and stare at Banjo. After around 5 minutes, the screen went to black. I took the game out, went to my room, and stared at it. trembling in fear. I had no idea what to do. I wrapped the game up and used bubble wrap and sold it on eBay. The buyer surely didn't know what they would get into. I felt a bit happy getting rid of it, but the fear kept overtaking that happiness. I tried emailing Nintendo several times about this, but they would just tell me I am insane or tell me they aren't involved with Banjo-Kazooie. Alright, so that was Project Nightmare, and that was a pretty short but sweet creepypasta, and yeah, and also it's just possibly the most interesting one since this is actually about catching black guy, since maybe there's like maybe I have a feeling that this cartridge was cursed by some mysterious being that resembles Captain Black Guy, and possibly just like traumatized the player, on by that one part where Banjo just screaming and flailing his arms, and in the and when it's at the forest area of the game, and yeah, no, so there's thank God there's no hyper realistic blood or other cliches in this creepypastas, and also the part with the way with Mumbo Jumbo saying what's been seen cannot be unseen. Yeah, that's part just kind of maybe a bit uneasy. Like, yeah, what did Mumbo see? Like, maybe Captain Black Eye just kill someone while just roaming around in the Mumbo Mountains. Well, Mumbo Mountain, I think it was called, not like with a plural, I guess. And also, what doesn't it mean that kind of Black Eye just killed Tui, Banjo's sister? Like, damn, that's kind of grim as heck. So, yeah. So, yeah. So that's all the things I talk about for this Banjo-Kazooie creepypasta is like the most interesting to me than the other Banjo-Kazooie creepypasta. That's kind of cliched. So yeah. So anywho, I just hope you enjoyed this video and like and comment and subscribe for more content. So this is Mr. Fetty here, and I'm officially out of here. Go, bye.